Hello, everyone. I'm sure you're not in yet,
Hey,
so people are coming in, but we are live
we
yet
live.
again. Another week, another time, another topic. We are live, and this is Man with three N's. Me too.
Man,
So,
me too.
yeah. So when you all come in, we want you all to like what we have going on, share what we have going on, and also, we'll talk about our YouTube channel and all that stuff later. But right now, we just want anybody that comes in to like and share. Send it to your family members, send it to your brothers, your uncles, your fathers. We just want to create a conversation for us men to be able to really express ourselves. Carl, you got
Yeah.
anything to say?
Now you said it all, man. We just
Okay.
trying to create some camaraderie between the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Our mission is to create a platform where men can speak on issues that we don't normally talk about. And we want to shatter the silence of men and start the community of healing, love, and laughter. You know, so that's what we're all about. That's what our mission is. That's what we're geared towards. That's what this platform is for. And tonight we have I think a really good topic, and so we're going to go ahead and kind of get into this thing. Hopefully, we have a couple more people come in so we can really dig into the topics and get some good feedback from each other.
Yeah, we want participation, so
Yeah,
we could keep this thing rolling. We don't want to just sit on here and talk because listen, we talk to each other all the time. All right,
right.
so
We could
we
talk for
want we
hours.
want yeah, we want participation from you guys watching. So drop a comment. We can see them. We'll answer them if you got questions. We'll comment if it's a good one. So yeah, participation, please.
If we can't see them, we'll answer them if you got
Yeah, we want
questions.
you all to make sure that you all participate with us and just have a good time with us. Hopefully, you all get to kind of express some stuff that you maybe don't get a chance to express. Release is good for everybody. And I know that we also have women that join our lives as well. Um, you can learn a lot just from us, because of the fact that men don't really express themselves all the time. And we have created this platform for it. You all can learn a lot just by listening to and even engaging with us. But you all can definitely learn a lot about men and how we function and how we deal with things. So definitely be a part of what we have going on. Also, we want you all to go to our YouTube page. It is Man with three N's, Man Me Too. We want you to go there. We want you to like, we want you to comment, and we want you to share and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell, and under the notification bell, hit all so you can be notified anytime that we put up content, anytime we upload anything, whether it be any type of vlogging or whether it be a conversation. You all will be notified about it. Also, if you all have questions, I go back through our lives and try my best to find any questions that someone said or asked that we did not
Mhm.
get a chance to answer during the live so I can have it for the next one. But if you don't do it in the live, if you have a question, maybe you don't want to ask, in front of everybody or whatever, you can send those to man with three N's, man me
Yeah,
too,
me too.
at gmail.com. Again, you can send your questions, comments, concerns to man with three N's, MANN, me too.com. All right. So tonight we definitely want to we got a topic that, first of all, we want you all to understand that we are not approaching these things as if we have them all together. We are not
We have
approaching
not.
these things like we've mastered them or any of these things. This is just an open conversation, and these are things that we're dealing with ourselves. I know I can speak for me. Like it's we grow every day, and
Hmm.
so if we're willing to, and if we're willing to learn, we grow every day. And so, with that being said, we don't have it all together. So this is just a conversation for us to learn too. So maybe you can put something in the chat that from a different perspective that we never thought about. So just engage with us.
Yeah,
So
it. I'm gonna say this topic is nowhere near a topic of where we uh,
hmm,
conquered it. It's more of a.
right,
It was more of a challenging conversation that we had the other day than a perspective of yeah we got this all together. It was more of a hey maybe we need to reevaluate some things and put some things in order so that we can uh, get this where we need it to be. And we felt like that would
right,
be helpful for a lot of other men because I'm sure we're not the only two who may feel that way about this topic. So yeah.
right. So before we actually get into the main topic for tonight, I have a question for you all. We want you all to engage. We want you all to, give us some feedback, and of course, also, Cora, I want you to answer the question. But the question for tonight is, do you think the things and the conditions that we live in now were worse back in the day, maybe when you grew up, or whatever time frame that may be, or do you think they are worse now? And I want you to think about that before you answer it, because we have a whole lot of things that transpire today, but we also have a lot of those same things that transpired back in the day. So, think about your answer. But I want to know: do you think our current situation, well, our conditions and the things that we have going on now, were worse back in the day? Or are they the same? Or are they worse now? Or what do you think they are? Carl, you want to answer that?
Well, I just want to preface it by saying we're speaking about like it like everything like
Yeah,
crime, uh, kids exposure to things,
yeah.
like the full gamut. Isn't like not just like I don't know weather or something, but like the perspective that I'm looking at it is, of course, it seems worse now because I don't feel like, but then again, I probably never watched the news when I was younger, but I
Okay.
don't feel like every time the news was on that it was a three people shot here and four people shot here. Like
Mm.
I don't, I I just don't feel like it was that bad because like no way I don't think our parents would have just let us be outside if because that's how I'm looking at it. Like I don't even want my kids to go outside for the single fact that like there's crazy people out here like snatching up kids. Like so I I feel like it's got to be
But
worse
the
now.
thing was, people were snatching up kids back when we were young.
You're right, because it was that white van, the Southside rapist, man. That no, like that was the scariest thing I could think of when I was younger.
Right.
Like people used to talk about this white van, the Southside rapist, like, but like, but listen, you hear stories of women posting stuff on Facebook saying it was a man following them from Snooks on the way home, like multiple times a week. You see this same story, so it's like man, I feel like it's worse.
Okay. So for me, I excuse me, I feel two different ways about it. One thought of or a position, I do feel like things are worse now, but I also feel like things that we deal with, and even the children deal with, were just as bad back in the day. I wouldn't say that they were worse then or worse. Well, I will say they're worse now, but back in the day, I feel like they were almost just as bad because we still had gangs back then. We had shootings. We had black on black crime. We had police brutality back then. We had racial profiling. The unemployment rate was high back then. So um, I feel like that we have a lot of those same things and same scenarios. The reason I feel like they were almost the same. Is the I think the only difference is now we have access to more media. We have
Yeah,
access um, to more knowledge. We can get on the web and just Google, certain things or what's going on in the world. Like back in the day, you only really seen stuff on the news, maybe in the magazines, and then you would hear rumors in the tabloids, stuff like
yeah,
that. Um, but nowadays, it's you can instantly Google something. You can instantly look up something on the internet. You can instantly Google somebody's name and see all of their information. Of like it's more we're more exposed to things now,
yeah,
and that I feel like even with this pandemic that we're going through, like look at all the things that we dealt with um before or that we did before that we look at kind of sideways now. Like, I was talking with my coworkers earlier at work and I was like, we were talking about bowling and I was like, I wouldn't dare like probably go bowling now, not without my own ball, because you're literally sticking your fingers in a ball that
that
other
a
people have
hundred
put their
people.
hands in. 100 people have put their fingers in. Not only that,
We go eat.
most people gonna eat at the bowling alley. People eating pizza, nachos, hot dogs, popcorn. You eating all of this stuff and going right back to bowling. Like most people don't be like, okay, hold on, I gotta go wash my hands.
Right.
But because we have been exposed to the coronavirus, like people are more conscious now and they think about it and like, hey, hold on, let me get my hand sanitizer. Hold on, you go to how many years have we gone to the grocery store and we went and got a cart? Like, but nowadays you go to the grocery store, if they don't have no spray and no paper towels, we looking like what's going on here?
Right.
Because we have been exposed, we have been opened up, and we realize that germs are out there. So that to me, that goes the same way with everything that's happening in our world. Yeah, I do feel like it is a lot more now, but I also feel like it's a lot more because we can get to the information,
Yeah, the
more.
information is
Uh, and not only that, I think things are more like we don't know now. Like you just talked about the South Side rapists. In our minds, we had an image of what that looked like, how it was. But nowadays, your next door can be a rapist, and well, if they're not registered, or any like that, you don't know. We don't have a certain look for someone who molests someone. We don't have a certain look for someone who's a manipulator or a murderer or we don't have, there's not a certain look. And I think back in the day, we had certain images of what we thought those were. And
well.
so, I mean,
I
go ahead.
I think I think that's kind of the same because when you hear stories about like what's the guy like Ted Bundy and these guys who like kidnapped women and buried them in their basement, like these people were never suspected of doing stuff like that back then too. Like, and when it comes to like the gangs, like there were like OGs back then, like people who actually ran
Yeah,
it,
that's a
like
good point.
and the younger generation like looked up to them, and if they got out of line, there was like rules and regulations to this,
Right,
like I hear like even like my dad and my uncle talk about even when they wasn't so clean, like when they walk past a church, they'll put their stuff down or not curse in front of a church and stuff
right,
like that. Like, but right now, like I feel like these kids have no respect for anybody or anything, and
right, right,
that's why you see young cats shooting in a mall. Like, no
right,
way. I think that like unless it was like a mob hit back in the day, like no nobody just shooting in the crowd, man. Like these kids
right,
they have no conscience of like hope or to see tomorrow. So it's like they just out here doing whatever. And like
right.
I feel like it was
Yeah,
different. I just feel like it was different back then. Like
yeah.
it the kids today just seem like they are like lost, man. Like and it's sad and scary, bro.
Yeah, and that was my other point of why I think things are worse now, because I feel like the difference from now and back then is the lack of respect now.
Yep.
Like you just kind of talked about. Like you said, if they walk past the preacher or someone, an elder or something like that, they may have their beer, they may have their drugs, but they may have their gun, but they would cover it up, or try to do something where it was just a sign of respect. And I
Right.
feel like in today's time, like the the youth of today, and even people in our generation, have no respect. Like and it may just simply because they haven't been taught that. And we are already a product of the environment that we grow up in. And so
You
if we
know,
don't, if with that
Eric,
happening, if we don't take the conscious mind to change those things, then we just continue that same product of our environment. And so, what were you saying?
I feel like it was a comment that kind of went along with the respect thing.
Oh, okay.
Like
Uh huh.
Frank said, I think now it's too many babies having babies, and
That's a good point.
like if you ain't taught, you ain't gonna be able to teach the generation coming up. Like if you a kid and you trying to raise a kid, that's not a good recipe. You ain't gonna teach them to respect their elders because you most likely you didn't. Like so.
Right. And so, like, I see in the comments, some people are saying, like, talking about the whole social media thing. And that's kind of one of the things that I had down in my notes. Like, social media has made that goes along with that exposure. Social media gives everybody a voice. So,
Hmm.
back in the day, you would have those people that would fight or would be bullies and stuff like that. But nowadays, you have majority of people behind their keyboard, behind their phone, bullying. Like, it's easy to click on somebody's post because they can't get to you,
Right.
and really kind of state how you feel. Where back in the day, if you were faced with a bully, if you didn't have enough courage to stand up to them, you wouldn't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Right.
nowadays,
Them
people,
keyboard
they
thugs.
keyboard thugs. They hide behind their keyboard, and I
Yeah.
see it in every facet of the world. I see it in pop culture. I see it in the church world. I see it all over in the music industry, in the entertainment industry. You'll have all these celebrities, and what's crazy is a lot of them are doing it to get clout, to
Uh huh.
to create a buzz, to bring attention to them. And so I feel like as a result of that, it has really allowed things to spiral out of control. Where back in the day, we had a few known crazy people, but it's
Right.
like now everybody's crazy. Like, everybody got
Kanye.
something to say.
Or
Everybody has a point of view, or
either they're crazy or they're using it as a marketing tool. So
yeah.
yeah.
And
But
I tell people that all the time, especially in all the industries. First of all, everybody got a story nowadays. Everybody has I've been through this, and granted, we all go through things, but I feel like at some point, a lot of people use it as a gimmick um to gain popularity, to bring attention to their name. We got stuff going on in the world now where certain people feel like that person's doing this for publicity, or that
right.
person got an album coming out, so they doing this just so it can bring attention to their name. And so
Hmm.
I do feel like things are kind of worse now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy because that lack of respect is definitely there, and I feel like that lack of respect is there because people have lost hope. Like,
Yep.
boys have lost hope in their fathers because a lot of the fathers are not in the home. And think about it: if your father is making promises to you, or you desire for your father to be in your life, and you trying to reach out to him, or you desire, man, I want my dad to do this, or if he says, "Hey, I'm coming over on such and such," and he just does not show up, and this is a
Yeah.
constant thing, like, at some point you lose hope. And then
Hmm.
at that time, that's when people go to the streets.
Yep.
Because it's like, man, at least these people showing me that they love me, or that I
Yep.
think that is love. At least
Right.
these people
It,
are showing me that they got my back if something happens. What I think. This is how people think. And I feel like, along
they
with
trying to
the
fill a
drugs,
void. Yep.
yeah, along with the drugs and the alcohol and all of these things that people abuse, I'll put it like that, abuse, that's where the hopelessness comes in, because they're trying to fill that void. And when you try to fill that void with something, and it's not the right thing that you feeling it with, things are going to get worse. That's how addictions happen. That's
Yep.
how people can go around and shoot people and kill them and have
Have
absolutely
no
no
conscience.
remorse for it. Like, at some point, we have to realize that and try to figure out a way that we can reach back towards our youth, reach back, to our young boys, young ladies as well, and kind of see how we can maneuver to where we can help them out because
Help them. Yep.
it's a lot of hopeless people out here. And when you're hopeless, you're willing to do anything because a lot of them don't even expect to live. I've seen
Yeah.
so many movies and heard so many people talk and say, man, I didn't even think I was gonna make it past 18. I didn't think I was gonna make it past 21. Man, I'm 25. I didn't even expect this.
Right.
So I think we need to figure out a way to give them hope again. Because I think it's just so crazy that we have people that kill people now and like have literally no remorse
No
for it. Like
remorse at all.
no,
Yep.
like and not even just killing people, but killing innocent people. Anytime you can say, hey man, go shoot on the highway and whoever you shoot, like it's almost
They,
like it's a game.
yep.
Anytime you can do stuff like that, anytime you can take your gun into the mall, knowing that you could harm innocent people and pull that thing out and just start shooting. Bullets don't have no name. Like
No name at all.
it can hit anybody. It can ricochet and hit somebody. It can hit a little kid. It can hit
Yep.
a elderly person. Like the lack of respect and the lack of the hope that we once had is gone. And I would love to see that thing, really come back in our communities.
So
Like
I
it,
mean, the only way. I mean, not the only way, but the one way is to help these fellas realize that the world is bigger than these 4 or 5 blocks that you walk on the north side or the south side.
yes, sir.
Like you have to expand their mind because right now they're in a box. Like all they see is murder, kill. All they see is
That's true.
violence. And
And
if we can reach out
yeah,
and
that's true.
expose them to, bro, the world is bigger than this. Like you can do. We just had a black president. I know it look crazy now who up in there, but
Right,
like we just had our first black president, bro. Like the world is way bigger than these couple blocks that you walk up and down,
right,
getting into it
right.
with people on, man. Because like
And
right now, it's like that mentality. Like I'm stuck here. I'm a live and die here. Like it's nothing. They can't even see outside of that, and it like
yeah, that's pretty
that and
bad.
that goes with the hope thing. Like
Hmm.
you can't hope for something that you can't even imagine. Like
Right.
they
That's
they can't.
good.
First off,
Ooh.
they can't even imagine. Most of them don't even imagine living to a certain age, let alone I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go out and get a house and raise a family. Like it.
Right.
So it. I mean, it's a crazy cycle right now, man.
And like and that's one of the things that I'm happy that my parents allowed me to be exposed to different things. Like I didn't have to just go to church or I didn't have to just be in school. Like my parents allowed me to be introduced and
Mm-mm.
exposed. We talked about exposure, but there's good and bad with everything. So you have good exposure and you have bad exposure. And I think the good exposure allows us to venture off and like you said, see that it's other stuff outside of this hood. And although I was going to public schools, I was going to city schools, I was in
Yeah.
magnet schools, and so I was in visual performing art schools, and I think that helped open me up because we had drama classes, we had dance classes, we had mass media classes, we had violin, or if you wanted to be in the band, or if you wanted to be in the choir, like we had all of this in the dance. They got into jazz and tap and all of these different type of things that you wouldn't normally see in a regular school. As for me, I was in choir, so I got a chance to do an opera, a couple operas. I got a chance to be a part of opera St. Louis. Like I got a chance to go to Coca, and I got what I'm saying. I got a chance to go to Webster Groves and have vocal lessons I got a chance to go to Webster University and have vocal lessons from one of their, their teachers through the Opera House of St. Louis. Like I was exposed to those things, and even as I grew older, um, I was able to travel the country. Like it is amazing to see outside of St. Louis, outside of Chicago, outside of New York, and see the other side of the world. Like I got a chance to travel to Europe so many times. Like I went to places like Switzerland and Italy and Milan. I went to all these different places, and it was so amazing to see how the different cultures were in those places and even how they treated us. And so it kind of opened me up because I was exposed to some good things. And I think that's one of the things that still gives me hope today. So I think going back, we have to figure out a way to create hope in our youth and our
Yeah,
family members because it's dying. And
it,
we wonder why people don't go to church for real like that anymore. It's because people don't have hope anymore. You know, people are sad, broke, busted, and disgusted. And I've learned that there are two types of people in the world. You can have two different people in the same house, and they can grow up and live two different lives. And I've learned that there are two different people in the world, to the fact where we may go through the same thing, we may go through the same sadness growing up, or whether it was growing up poor or anything. One person will take that and say, you know what, I never want to be like that again. So I'm gonna work my tail off to make sure that I never get back to this place. Where the other person will get conditioned to, well, this is how I grew up, and they end up repeating that same cycle. That's
settle
how it
for the
happens with
same mess.
fathers.
Yep,
If my father wasn't in my life, for some people that will push them when they get kids to make sure that they are the best father in the world. But to
yep,
other people, that create that same cycle, and they won't be in their kids' life. And so we have to create a space where people can have hope again. All right, we're
yep,
about to move on, but I just really want people to really step up and really try to dig into your communities and create hope again. Like I think that's what we need, hope again.
yeah. Somebody commented all those programs in the schools. They pretty much gone, man. Like especially St. Louis public schools now, man. They suffering, man. They barely got enough just to teach the
Yeah,
kids, let alone all the bands and the choirs. I'm pretty sure most of that's gone unless it's
that's
like
true.
a performing arts school or something like that. But
Right.
yeah, and we
Yeah.
talked and we even talked about that because I even questioned, bro, is Matthew Dickey still open? Is Herbert
Yeah.
Hoover
Yeah.
still open? Like because
Hmm.
it just seems like there's nothing for these kids to do constructive anymore. Like I know
Hmm.
they built like a I don't know if it's a I think it's a boys and girls club like in Ferguson now,
Hmm.
but like yeah, like there's nothing in the city anymore, man. Like it's kind of sad to see it like
And
that.
see, the thing is, we have those things, but there's no structured things
Right.
happening. Like back then, like you said, they would have football and Matthew Dickey's, or they have different things that had some people that could create hope for those younger ones
And
and be
investing
examples
in
for them
young
and
yeah,
invest in
invest
them,
yeah.
and in a structured way where they were still having fun, but they were also learning as well.
Right.
Frank said, when I was young, I only knew kids my age getting killed. In today's time, it's unbelievable how many kids are seeing their friends get buried. Like it is, it's very sad.
He said
He said he only knew
he
one.
said
I'm
I
sorry,
yeah,
he only
I
knew
only knew
one
a one.
kid. Yeah,
Yeah. But
but
these kids out here
nowadays
now,
it's sad.
it
It's
is.
very sad. It's
Yeah,
very
man.
sad. Somebody put, guidance and accountability. That's another thing that we're missing. But that's because, and part of it is part of the system because, that's why they want to get you in the whole jail system. Because once you get a part of that, then when you get out, it's hard to find a job, and then you end up going back to those same. You end up in that same cycle, and you have other people that go through those things. They get out and then they fight, they get their own businesses, they do what it takes to make sure that
So,
they can provide for their families, and so they don't have to
hmm
go back and in those ways. So I shout out to those people that
yep.
go through adversity, go through, because we all have done dumb stuff in our life. We all have gotten ourselves in situations that we shouldn't have. We've all done some, some crazy stuff growing up. Some worse than others,
And
of course. But
especially us, like as black men, like it could have easily turned the wrong way one night, and we could have all ended up in
yes, sir.
that place that could have got us in that cycle. But
You're right.
yeah, like the guys who come out and like have that mindset, like I'm not gonna get trapped in this cycle, man. Shout out to
Hmm.
them, because
Right.
that, like, it's hard enough already, but the fact that you have something on your back and you're still able to push through that and accomplish goals
Right.
despite it, that's amazing, man.
Okay, so we're gonna take a break before we get into the main topic for tonight. That was a good discussion. Thank you to all of those who are on here. We want to thank you. We thank you for the feedback that we're getting from you. We
Hmm.
appreciate you all logging on. Hopefully, we're saying some stuff and talking about some stuff that you all can share with your family, share with your friends, share with your loved ones, share with your uncles, your brothers, your nephews. But we want you all to share and like this whole thing that we're doing, this live tonight. We want you to share that. So go ahead and do that. Also, and I'm just repeat myself from the beginning of the show because a lot of you all weren't on. We want you all to go to our YouTube channel, which is Man with
Man,
three N's,
me,
Man Me Too. We want you
yep.
to like, comment, and share, and also subscribe by hitting the notification bell and hit all when you hit it. And so anytime we upload any content, you all will get it and you all can share it from there. As soon as
Hmm.
we upload it you can be sharing it. I do it all the time with different people that I listen to. Also, if you all have questions that we
I
don't
can say, I want to say, you can
go ahead.
watch live. You can watch us live on YouTube
Yes, you
as well
can.
as Facebook. So if you're on YouTube, you can watch live on both places.
Yes. Also, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if there's anything that we don't get to, maybe you put a question in the chat. We will try to go back and get those. But if you have something that you definitely wanted to be pointed out, or you have a question about something, you all can send that to man with three N's, man me too
Me too.
at gmail.com. Send those questions, send those stories in. You may have a testimony that you want to something that you've been through, that you overcame, or maybe you're still dealing with it. Maybe you have questions on it. If you all send those things in, we can read them, we can go through them, and we can talk about them on this show.
Yeah, we
Even if you
if
want it
we
to be like anonymous, and you don't want us to, state who you are, that's fine. We'll do that as well. We won't
right.
say who you are. So feel free to do any of those things. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
so
Carl.
we trying to get a community together. So if we got an answer for you, we'll give it to you. We'll share it with the people. Some other people might have some wise advice too, man. So
Right,
we just trying to get a group of men where we can hash some stuff out that we normally don't. So
man.
it go ahead.
It's crazy how just simple platforms like this, a lot of times we look at the big world and say, what can we do, like we were talking about earlier, to create a difference. Stuff like this will, although it may seem small, it can create the conversation, and it can make a difference in people's households and people's relationship, and even in the way that we think, and the way we move and groove.
Right.
So let's continue to have these type of conversations. I think this can only help build up our men, and especially our black men.
Yep.
So while we're talking about building up the black man, the subject for tonight is: are you setting yourself up for the future that you want? Now I want you all to think about that thing, whether you be male or female on here tonight. Are you taking the proper precautions to set yourself up, whether it be mentally, spiritually, financially? fiscally, all
physically.
these,
Yeah.
yeah, or you taking the proper, or we taking the proper precautions to set ourselves up for the future that we want. Like,
Right.
have you tapped into your, start setting up your 401k at your job? Like, or are you setting money aside now for like it's a lot of different um elements to this. It's not just, oh, we're not just talking about health, but we also
Right.
talking about mental health. We,
Uh
also
huh.
talking about the spiritual place. Also talking like all of these different facets. I want us to dive into tonight because I'm seeing our men really just kind of live in the moment.
In
You
the
know,
moment, I
I
got to
see a
get up.
lot of us. We got to get out of that place. Just living and for the time being, or living for today. Like, what happens tomorrow? And we do understand that life is not promised and tomorrow is not promised, rather. But we want to make sure that we prepare. That's where your faith comes in. Is
Hmm.
I could. It's a chance I could not be here, but if I am, I want to be prepared. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I want to make sure I have something for tomorrow. And it's a process. I will say that.
It is.
You're not going to just get this overnight. You're not going to just achieve this. Again, I told you we're not coming from a place. We're not talking to you all from a place where we got it all
We.
together. We are learning these things as well. Like, I'm just I'm trying my best to do better for myself, for my family, for my wife, and for my life. Like, I want to make
Right.
sure that when my time comes, when that dash is there and the other number is at the end of that, whenever that may be, I pray to God is a long time from now. I want to be able to look back, if whether I'm on my dying bed or whatever, and I say, man, I really accomplished a lot. I really set myself up. I set my family up.
What kind of
I,
legacy are you? What kind of legacy are
yes.
you setting up to leave for your family?
Yeah.
let's just as men, let's just sit back and at the rate we're going now. Let's just sit back and just think and project, and be honest. Like at the rate I'm going right now, if I project out 20, 30 years, where
Oh
am I?
God.
Where am I? And you got to be honest with yourself because if you're not, I mean, you could sit up and lie to yourself all day, but do you want to be that guy 80 checking tickets at the Walmart on the way out, or do you want to be that guy who bent over can't stand up straight because he ain't been to the doctor in 10 years? Do you want to be that guy? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. Where are we? Where are we headed?
That's a good
And that
question, man.
and we gotta dive into that because I mean, if we don't take action now, it's the inevitable. It's gonna happen. So yeah, man.
Okay, so you know how the Bible says either you're gonna bow now or you're gonna bow later. My thing is either we're gonna sacrifice now, because
Uh-huh.
that's what we have a problem. Nobody want to sacrifice for now. We want to we want to do it all now. We want to do it all now and not really um not sacrifice now, and we suffer later. So either
Right.
you're gonna suffer now, or either you're gonna sacrifice now, or you're gonna end up sacrificing later, and you're gonna end up settling. I know my light went out. I'm like, what's going on here? I don't know.
Like it got real dark.
Got real dark in here, didn't it? All right, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm back.
I was about to say,
So
Scooter, man, you didn't plan, man. You didn't pay the
I
electric bill,
didn't
man.
plan. I did, but I have my ring light connected to my computer, and I guess it went off. So you know, uh, I'm back though. I'm back. All right. So either you gonna bow now or you gonna bow later. Either you gonna sacrifice now or maybe suffer a little bit now because you trying to plan for the future, or you gonna end up sacrificing later. You're gonna end up
Right.
having to settle later. You're gonna that's just the place that we're gonna find ourselves in. Like Carl just said, are we at the rate that we're going now? Are we gonna be in the place that we want to be in 20, 30 years? Like what's gonna be there? And one key thing that you said is that we got to be honest with ourselves.
You got to be honest.
Oh, Man, that hit like when you said that, like because we as men a lot of times,
We'll
ladies,
lie to
listen
ourselves.
up.
We'll lie to
We lie to
ourselves.
ourselves.
We will.
We try to put it in the back of our mind, and it's still there, but we try to act as if it's not there. And um, when that happens, life goes on, but the situation never gets better.
And it ain't changed a
It
bit.
actually gets worse.
Right.
My God, help me, help us, help us.
Come on.
Like it, this is why I say we dealing with these things now. Like me, I'm currently dealing with trying to get my health together, trying to make sure I get my body physically together. We gotta be
Mhm.
honest with ourselves. If I look myself in the mirror and say, "Oh man, I'm
I,
skinny, I'm built, like
well, I
everything
be in
is
the mirror
good,"
like knowing
like
I got
if
no.
I lie to myself and I'm not honest with myself, then it'll never change and things will just
It
continue
won't.
to get worse.
Yep.
But when you're honest with yourself, you'll take the right steps to do, to make sure whatever that thing is. It may be hard. I'm not telling you that it's gonna be easy. It's not
No,
easy
it
in no
not a
facet.
may, not a may be hard. It's gonna be hard,
It's
man.
gonna be hard.
Because like the world that we live in, it's almost like a microwave society, right? So people are on social media
Mm,
all day. They see, oh, this person went here, this person bought this, but and everybody looking at that saying, "Ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want to go here. Ooh, I want to do that. Ooh, I want to eat this. Ooh, I want to buy that." But
right.
you ain't you living totally
For
in the
today,
moment.
in the
You
moment,
ain't thinking nothing about, oh, I might buy
how
these
this is
J's
gonna
to
affect me,
I might buy these J's today, but I ain't gonna have no gas money to get to work for the rest of the week.
sir.
I might go out of town and use my credit card, but
But when I come back home,
I got a bill. Like it,
that I can't afford to pay.
yeah. Look at that plate of chicken he eating. You got high cholesterol. Like, bro, we messing ourselves up with
We're
this.
messing ourselves up.
We
That's
looking we looking around too much and not focusing on ourselves, man. Like,
Man, that's good. And that's what I already feel like social media is a false
false
reality.
reality for sure.
Somebody just come on. I didn't even read that. Re-
I thought you saw it.
Social media is a false reality. We look at relationships. We look at people. People only put out there what they want you to see. They're not gonna
They
put
gon'
the hard stuff out there. They're not gonna put the bad times in their relationship. They're not gonna put out there when they feeling defeated. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? But it has created this hunger for things instant. It's a microwave generation, and it's like if it don't come instant, then I don't want it.
I don't want
But
it,
we have to get back to
or I'm not willing to work for it.
yeah, yeah. But we got to get back to pulling that thing out of the freezer, letting it thaw out, putting in some water, letting it marinate in some seasoning. Then
And
putting
bake that thing, put in the
yeah,
slow cooker,
yeah,
not the
slow
microwave,
cooking,
man.
and it tastes so much better when we do it that way because it took time to go through the process.
Yeah,
But we don't want to go through that process, man. That process, it seems
it
like it's
hurts.
gonna kill you in the middle
It
of it.
hurts. It hurts.
It hurts. The process of it hurts. We want to go to the doctor and get instant surgery and be out of recovery right away. Like
hmm
no, when you go to the doctor and you get the surgery, they gotta prep before you get the surgery. Then once you come out of the surgery, they gotta put you in recovery. You have to sit there for a certain amount of time, and even after you come to, you still have to get yourself your strength back before you can just move. What did it say? Social media is an
Yes,
escape for those who are in denial about. Oh, yes, sir. Yes,
it
sir.
is.
Yes, ma'am. Whoever it is. And one key thing that you just said, Carl. As long as we have our eyes on everybody else, as long as we have our eyes on the business that we trying to run, as long as we have our eyes on all of these other things and the drama that everybody else got going on, we neglect ourselves. We
Yep.
don't get a chance to fix ourselves. And that's one of the reasons why I do feel like God has allowed us to go through this pandemic because it has caused everybody to shut down.
Yep.
And when you can't do nothing but sit at home, you ain't got no choice but to deal with yourself. You
Deal
see
with
how your
yourself.
habits are. You see how your eating habits are. You see how your anger is. And the people in your house, they get a chance to see all of those things. Like, we have no choice but to deal with ourselves. And I just want us as men to get to that place where we don't have to allow destruction to happen before we get ourselves together.
Right, because that's what happened. We be doggone there on our deathbed before we decide, hey,
Man,
let's go to this hospital real quick, cause
right, right, right. I
or we'll put it off. Okay,
We
we
will.
scoot over,
It's so
man.
funny. I was watching this show Greenleaf, and the bishop just had, I think, a heart attack not too long ago on the show. And so his wife is noticing that he's starting to forget things, and she wants him to go get a physical. And when I tell you he's putting this thing off, so he has caused everything to take that place, so he don't have to go to the doctor. And
Yes, yes,
that's
sir.
one of the things that we're gonna kind of get into tonight. Like, why don't we go to the doctor? Why don't black men go to the doctor? Like, what do you think that is, Carl? Why do you think that is?
Uh, I'm gonna harken back to my the little marriage classes. One day I said, I only want people to talk to me nice, okay? And when I go to the doctor, they don't be
Mm,
talking nice, bro. They don't talk nice to you. They tell you the
Jesus.
real deal. And the thing is, a doctor ain't trying to hurt you. He ain't trying to hurt your feelings, or she ain't trying to hurt your feelings. But they gonna give you the real. Like it's gonna be you this, you fat, you this, you borderline this, you that. Like they just want to help you get healthy. But we take it as, bruh, you ain't talking to me nice, man.
Right.
That's a hard pill to swallow. And another thing is, especially if we going through some things and we think there may be a serious issue, we definitely don't want to hear that. Like we
Yeah.
we 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 for sure don't want to hear any bad news. But
Right.
I, like we like during doing a little research, uh like back in the day when the man was the primary breadwinner in most homes, like
Hmm.
the woman didn't work, right? So
Right.
a man, I could see a man back then being, oh no, I ain't going to no doctor. I ain't because he got to go
I
to
ain't even
work,
taking out work to. Yeah, I'm not taking out work to go, and I'm the
right?
only one providing for the house.
I got to provide for this family because if I go to work and that doctor tell me something crazy and I can't go back to
I
work,
can't
who
work.
go who gonna take care of this house and this wife and these kids? Like I could understand that mentality,
Back
but
then, yeah.
that then got passed down to us, and most of us, majority of us, live in a two-income house. So
Right.
like,
Right.
what's our excuse? Like, why do we still have that same mentality when most of us have wives who could probably hold it down for whatever we go through, but we still in that. Nah, bro. I don't want to hear no bad news. I got to take care of this house. I got these kids.
Man.
I got these bills, and you ain't even on that same rap as the cats back then who was really holding down the whole household. So I mean,
Well, I
you
would
don't want
say
to hear
there.
no bad news.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like, I think that's the biggest thing for me, and we don't want to hear no bad news. You know, I said the last episode that men, we will okay ourselves right into depression, right into the grave, right into, say we be, hey, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm good. I think one of the biggest things that we have to learn to lay down, and I'm working on this myself, is pride.
Hmm.
And when I think that's one of the biggest ingredients to this thing that is causing men not to want to. Besides the fact that we don't want to hear no bad news, but we know the issues are going. We know, we feel the pain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We know that something is different than it was before, but we gonna try to we want to try to fix it ourselves. We want to try to work it out ourselves.
Or
And a
sweep
lot
it
of
under the
times,
rug
oh yeah, oh yeah,
until we
and
fall over it.
yeah, right, right. You walking on a clunky rug because you done swept everything under.
Everything up under that
Like,
rug.
and it takes for us to trip and fall, and the things are so bad where it's completely out of our control, and we almost at death's door before we get it together. Like, um, okay, so statistics says, according to the Center of Disease Control, 40% of black men are more likely to die from a stroke. When I read that, I was like, 40% more? Like, it's crazy. But this is one of the reasons why, another reason why we don't want to go to the doctor. Because studies show that doctors are more likely to underestimate the pain of black patients due to the beliefs that black and whites are biologically different. So that's,
Wait,
and in turn, this leads to
say
poor
that again.
care.
They
Studies show that it's more likely, and I've heard this on several occasions, especially from women. Um, Studies show that doctors are more likely to underestimate the pain that blacks have.
ah
And so I may go in, and they may be like,
yeah
oh, they're really not, really dealing
yeah
with all of that, and they may underestimate, and uh, uh they may not, they may underdiagnose me with something, and they may give me something that really is not helping me.
yeah. I people
That's
don't have
another
insurance.
thing. A lot of
Yeah,
people don't have insurance.
but listen,
That's true.
a lot of us got
And
insurance.
I was just about to say that. I remember when I was 18, I worked on my first job. I had good insurance, but I didn't understand. I really wasn't taught like about how all of it worked and why it was so important. I had dental, I had health insurance, I had vision. And do you know, on that job, I never used any of it.
Never you.
And then I got a little older, and it was like, okay, I'm working and I'm making a little money,
paying
but
paying for this
this insurance is
insurance.
expensive,
Right.
So, I definitely do understand that some people definitely don't have insurance, or their insurance won't cover it. So
Right.
that's another
Hey,
element to it. But a
that's for
lot of us
sure
got
another.
insurance,
That's for
and
sure element because first thing pop in my head when I think about going to the doctor is that bill that's coming. Because I didn't seen some doctor bills before, and I'm like, bruh, I'm cool. Like I rather
yeah.
like any like I be questioning whether my wife need to take the kids to the doctor, bruh. Did you see
And
that bill
that's
that
what
came from last
that's
time?
what
Like
somebody's saying on the
so,
screen now. Even having it, can you afford to use it?
right?
Like that's a part of it as well. Because like you
Yeah,
said, even though it's discounted, but it may not be covering everything, and I still got a bill. And most people live from check to check anyway, so most of
yeah.
their money is already accounted for. So now you adding in another bill. So I understand that, but
But your
let me
life,
say this.
you still
Let
gotta
me say
live.
this. Let me say this. We do what we want to do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
We do what we want to do. You
Hmm.
know,
Uh-oh. For sure. I absolutely do what we want to do. So like the whole no, I get the it's a lot of us that don't, but man, we still find ways to do a lot of stuff that we
okay, I'm back.
probably could do
I'm
without.
back again.
Man. Yeah.
I'm back again. So, what I was saying was, we
We
do
do what
what
we
we
want.
want to do.
Mhm.
People know they can't afford them Jordans, but they still find a way to get them. People know that they really can't afford that habit, but they find a way to get what they want, whether it be food or
Yeah.
drugs or shopping or whatever it is. We find a way to do what we want to do. Going on trips, going on cruise, we find a way to kind of do what we want to do. So where I do understand that, some people can't afford to really use it, like this all goes along with the title. Like, are you
Yeah.
setting
Are you
yourself up for the
setting your
future you want? Like, yeah, it's a sacrifice. Are you gonna sacrifice now, or are you gonna be laid up in the hospital sacrificing later? And then your
Hmm.
family gotta look after you. Your family gotta change you. Your family, you know what I'm saying? That's a sacrifice on on somebody's part. And so we want to make sure that, and granted, I don't want to say that as a blanket statement, like things, bad things don't happen to good people. It happens
Right,
all the
right,
time.
for sure. Yeah,
And and again, life is not, tomorrow is not promised, and things happen to people all the time. So we can do all this preparation work and not even make it to that. But if I do make it to that, I want to make it's better to have something and not need it than to need something and don't have it.
yeah.
So
Because
we want to make sure. Go ahead.
cause yeah, though when you not planning for tomorrow, listen, it's still coming.
It's still coming,
You
whether we
still
hear or
got
not.
you still got to do. And this is my thing. Like having a family now, like I would rather set my family up to be good in the long run than to be out here trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say. You know,
Man,
like even it wouldn't even and like this absolutely punched me in the gut because it was when we started talking about health and doctors, and I'm like, bruh.
you like I don't want to talk about it.
Like
It's
all
real though, man.
most of the stuff I feel like I feel like I'm doing pretty good, but when you project that hey, listen, I'm gonna go to the doctor, man. That's all I got to say.
And
And we all
like,
need to.
and I get it. Like we don't want to hear no bad news. I remember one time I went to the doctor. I just sat there because the doctor was saying all of this stuff, and I'm just sitting there like I had to come up with an excuse or something. Like it's like because you feel bad at that point. When you're there and they telling you stuff is going on and stuff is not where it should be, and then your pride is hurt at that point.
Yeah,
Your
it
your
is.
your ego is hurt, you know, and so um, we just don't want to hear no bad news.
Yep.
We don't want to. Anybody else got anything to say on that before we
So
go? Go ahead.
uh and this kind of I know it's long, but most of us are trying to fix what our parents weren't educated on health wise,
Ooh,
and that's bigger than just health because we touched on that too. Financially, all that. Uh, so it becomes generational hardship, just like generational wealth could be passed on. It could generational poverty mentality could be also passed on. Like
yes, sir.
it's deep, man. We were raised
And
consuming. Yep. That's
that is so
absolutely
true.
true.
Absolutely
We
true.
because we spoke on that because like we can expect to just have something when we 3 or 4 generations away from not even being able to go to the doctor or read or buy a
Yes,
house.
sir.
Like all of this is a cycle, but what I feel like we're in an age now where we don't have to have that excuse anymore. Like
That's
we
true.
can do better. Like the internet the internet is humongous. Like you can find anything and everything. Like
Yeah, we have to learn
uh
to read more.
yeah.
We have to.
And
We have to learn
and
to educate ourselves more. You already know what they say about us.
you
If
put it
they
in the
want to
book.
hide something, put it in the
You put
book
it in the
because they
book.
know
Yeah.
we're not gonna open it up.
Yeah.
And it is so true. If I get a shelf or something, I'm gonna maybe skim through it, but I'm gonna try to put
Don't
that
even
thing together
we
by
ain't
looking
looking at
at
the
the picture.
instructions. Right.
I'm gonna make sure I got all the screws I need. Sometimes people put stuff together and they got extra screws. They like, oh, they didn't need that
we
no way. This
we
is
don't
extra.
need that. They must have put some extras in there, man. We don't need that.
But we do
But
that with our life, though. We do that with our life. It's crazy because men, we will fix up our house. We will take pride in that. We will fix up our cars. We gonna make sure things are shiny. But we won't take those same things to maintain our own body, our own mental health,
right.
our own bank accounts, our own families, creating that stability We won't maintain that. Think about it. If I buy a car and I never take it to go get an oil change, and I never, I don't even put gas in it. At some point that thing is gonna burn out on me.
It is.
And the thing is, if you don't go take it to get the maintenance done on it, it's gonna burn out quicker than it would have if you had maintained it.
Right. That man. Oh man, I'm they getting on me in the comments.
What they say?
Somebody said y'all heard him say he going to the doctor, and then uh they said they gonna hold me to that, man.
Hey, that's what somebody put in the chat earlier. Accountability. I
Accountability.
think that,
Hey,
that's really one of the reasons why we created this platform, because we want to build a community of
hmm
men where we can hold each other accountable. Because when somebody's holding you accountable to something, you more likely to stay on top of it.
yep,
But
it does.
that's where our pride jump in, and we
hmm
hide a lot of. I've done so much of it, even to my own wife. I like going to the doctor by myself because I know she's gonna be on my head about
What they
every
say?
little
What they say?
single thing.
What
What they
first,
say,
first thing you can get? What she say? What, babe? What you mean? What she say? What she say? You want to know every word? You want to know word for
every
word for what she
detail.
word, or do you want me to summarize it? Come on, man.
So that accountability thing is what we need. Like, it may not be what we want, but
It
it's
definitely,
definitely something that's
yes,
gonna help us grow. And that's one of the reasons I do thank God for my wife, because she has definitely made me better. There were so many things, which we're about to celebrate our 10-year anniversary, but
woo, woo, woo,
that
woo.
was yeah, yeah. It was things that she said. It was things that she told me, hey, before we get married, this has to be done. That has to be done. Like, you got to get that in order. And and it made me grow up. It made me really step into, because she was holding me accountable to those things. Because you got to realize, when you go from being single to being in a relationship, things change. And growing up, when you're single, you have the mindset of you deal with it when you deal with it.
I do what
But
I
when
want when I
somebody's
want.
yeah, but when somebody's holding you accountable for it,
hmm
and they saying, hey, you got to have this done by a certain time, or you got to do this in order to be with me, like, it causes you to have to push to grow up.
Yep,
And I think that's what us as men, and especially black men, we got to learn to grow up. And with that growing up, we got to get our mental health together.
we do.
Man, our mental health is so jacked up in our culture of people. And it's what they say. I need this today. I know that's right. We
Right.
have to grow up in our mental health, y'all. It is so imperative, because you know we have taken in so much stuff. We've taken in so much trauma over the years. We've taken in so many things in our relationships. We've taken in so many things that we grew up seeing. So many people have taken in so much. But where's your release valve at?
I was about to say we don't have no release valve.
Where's your release
It's
valve?
just stuck in there. We just
Think
hold
about
it up.
everything that we use in life has a intake and a outtake, an outgoing, except us.
We just
Why? Think, if you use the vacuum, it's sucking it up in there, but it's gonna release in that tube. But if everything gets stuck in the tube that it's sucking up in, it's gonna stop working.
mhm. We
with
back up.
electricity with electricity and how energy works, you put a light bulb in, that's put it in, you plug it into the wall, the electricity comes through that plug, I mean, it's through from the wall and goes into, it's an outlet. You know what I'm saying? Think about, we talking about cars. When you have a car, think about if a car didn't have an exhaust. It's gonna hold all of that in, and that car is
and
gonna implode or explode.
it's gonna blow up one day, and that's
It's
what
gonna blow.
we well on
So
our way.
us as men, we have all of these examples before us, but we got to take that in for ourselves. We got to have an exhaust, because when you don't have an exhaust, then you regurgitate, and
Uh-huh.
when you regurgitate, you throw up on other people. You hurt other people, and it comes out the wrong way.
Yeah.
Have I know everybody know what it feels like to throw up. It hurt. You know, you get
is
that
not
feeling in your
pleasant.
mouth. It don't feel good. It don't taste good. It don't smell good. This is what's happening when we don't take our mental health serious, when we don't take our health serious, when we don't, take our bank, our family serious, making sure we have money in the bank. When we don't do those things, it comes back up the wrong way.
Yep.
Now, as a man, because I don't got no money in my account and my girl asking me for money, I got a whole attitude with her because I ain't got it.
And it ain't even her fault.
It's not even her fault, but it's because we haven't done our due diligence
we
to make
we
sure that we can provide. Now we mad at her because she asked me for something that I don't have.
right. She
Like,
asking you to be in a place where you should be.
right, right. What do you even have to offer her? Like, we have to we got to get ourselves together, y'all.
Yeah,
And we
we
got to
do,
hold each
man.
other accountable. Like, we can't keep living life on our own. Like, the community of life right now is gone. Think about it. When you was young, everybody kind of knew everybody on the block. You knew
Bro,
all,
my
you knew who the
grandma
mean
knew
lady was.
my grandma knew everybody on the street. You couldn't do nothing up the block because they was gonna come down and tell your grandma like, but I don't even know the neighbor right next door to me. Like it's crazy. Like there's no community at
No
all anymore,
community.
bro.
And people have taken on that mentality, and we have conditioned ourselves. Think about it. Something can happen in the streets, and you'll ride right past it because you feel like, hey, they ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's all of us. We all have done it. And we have taken on that whole ideology of it ain't got nothing to personally do with me, so it don't really affect me.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
it's affecting us and we don't realize it. It's
yep,
affecting our community because there is no community. It's affecting our health because we're not dealing with it. It's
right.
so many facets when we're not dealing with these things, it's still affecting us, whether we know it or not.
Yeah, it's affecting us, and it may not look like it's personally, but when you see your neighbor's kid outside doing something to the next neighbor's house and you don't say nothing, then that's a crime rate being higher in your area, which could cause property values to go down. And it ain't just about money, but that kid could end up being a friend of your kid and it affect your kid. And
Right.
it like it's bigger than just us, man. Like the world is bigger than just my four no more. Like it you got to
Ooh.
you got to be aware and be conscious of everything that's going on if we gonna make some sort of change, like because
Right.
there's no way we can live in a bubble by ourselves. The
Mm.
stuff that we say don't has nothing to do with us has everything to do with us. And
That is
and and,
good.
and I feel like this pandemic has heightened that because like even little things like before, like when I used to go out like in early in the pandemic, I used to be like, bro, it feel fake out here because like people don't even speak to people anymore. You know that man thing, like when you in the mall or in the store or something, you see a dude, you be like you don't have to say nothing, you give him a love. Like
Give him the head
people
nod.
you don't do that. It ain't
What's
no
up?
type of human connection. Like and it feels so weird now. And we're starting to turn that take that corner where like people are more open, but like before
Hmm.
I used to hate going outside because I was like, bro, it don't even feel like we're humans anymore because people scared to talk to each other. Like if you hear somebody cough, bro, I'm leaving. I'm out of here. Like it it's like everybody put up a wall from everybody else, and it felt like a fake world, man. Like
Yeah. Yeah, it is really bad. And my thing is, I was always taught if you look something like if I see you out, if I make eye contact with you, I may not know you. I'm
uh-huh,
gonna speak.
right,
I think that is the rudest thing in the world, especially as a man, to look somebody in their face, make eye contact with them, and then just turn
and
your
then
head.
don't
Like,
yeah,
no, I may not know you, but I'm gonna say, hey, what's up? or I'm gonna
Right.
nod my head, like, what's up, and keep it pushing like that. My mom always taught me, my mom and daddy always taught me that it don't cost you nothing to speak. It
Hmm.
didn't take nothing from you. And then my mom always taught me that you never know what your simple speaking to somebody can do for somebody. Like,
Yep.
you never know what people are going through. So
Hmm.
you being nice to them and just speaking to them may change their whole
Change their
day.
day. Yep.
Change they might be ready to kill themselves, commit suicide. But just because you showed them some type of hope, there goes that again, that it can change their whole mind. Like,
Out.
change
Give
their
them a
whole
whole different
outlook.
outlook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like, man, everybody don't hate me. Because when we go through things, we already feel like we're the only ones going through it.
we in it by
We
ourselves.
we
Yep.
feel like we in it by ourselves. Ain't nobody else dealing with it like I'm dealing with it. It's God, why I gotta go through this? You know, but in all actuality, I bet every man on this line has been through a lot of the same stuff that we talking about.
Hmm.
But in those moments, it feel like don't
I'm the only
don't
one.
ain't no I'm the only one.
A
Kind
kind
of
word can
word that can
save.
save a life. Yeah, a kind word can save a life. That is so true. Like, we gotta change the way we've been moving and grooving. Like,
Yeah.
it don't take nothing from us. But you know what? It started from our childhood. And a lot of
Hmm.
people, of course, don't want to go back and dig into that because, some stuff may come up that you try to put in the back of your mind. But it started with our childhood. Think about when we was young. Anytime we did anything, if we fell off our bikes or whatever, or if somebody took our toy, it suck it up, man. Be a man. Like, you
Big
a
time.
boy. Like, and so
Don't be
all
out
of
here
those type
crying.
of,
Yeah.
yeah. What you crying for? You crying like a girl. You crying. You a punk. Like, that type of stuff was ingrained in us, and so that's one of the reasons why we don't like to deal with our emotions. We don't even at those ages. I want y'all to really understand when you are a child, you learn a lot, and you
Hmm.
don't necessarily learn a lot
On
by
what they
what
saying.
people say, but it's by what people do to you as well. And like, even in my family, we do a lot of joning. We do a lot of talking about people. And where that helped me in life, so when I went to school, yeah, they wanted to try to get on me because I was a big dude. I was coming back, with them. They like, oh, wait a minute, we ain't seen that before. Because why that was good to me, it was not good for me
Right.
because what it was doing was planting insecurities in my mind when I'm being talked about by my family and
Hmm.
not even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? And so when we're taught, suck it up, be a man, and yeah, I do think with boys you have to be a little more stern with them. You have to develop some tough skin within them. But at the same time, I think it's a way to do that where they still can deal with their emotions. They
Right.
still can deal with vocalize what's going on. Man, think about how many of us don't even know how to vocalize what's going on with us when we frustrated. We don't even know
Oh,
how to put the words together because we were not taught those things. We was taught to just suck it up. So we had to just deal with it. I got an attitude. I'm mad, but I had to just learn how to deal with it.
yeah, because you can't even
So
you can't be sad because that's a weak trait. That's a
right,
you can't
right,
be if you angry. The world already think you an angry black man. You can't do that.
right,
Uh,
right.
if
So
it,
so we end up being in that car with no exhaust.
we sitting there just straight face, I'm hurting, just hurting in the inside, but you can't show it. You car with no
Man.
exhaust, man. And then when it do come out, oh, it's terrible. Then
Have
like
you ever heard a
you,
car backfire before because something is wrong? Pow, 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 pow. That's when we finally do let it off. That's what happens. We go off. And I'm really learning that in my life because I'm learning that I've been the person through the years that I will let people say certain stuff to me. And but once I get to that breaking point, I go off. And
yeah,
it's like, whoa, yeah, I didn't know you even had that in you. Yeah, because I had allowed things to kind of come my way, or I just kind of push it off and try not to. to
Took it
think
as a
about it,
joke.
or
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm learning to speak my mind, and it's a way to do that respectfully. It's a
Hmm.
way to do that where you're not looked at as the angry black person, the angry black man. Like it's a way to do these things, but we got to do the work.
Yeah.
We got to educate ourselves. We have to have our mental health intact. Like man, it's just so crazy. And with things going on in the world, we got to have a plan. We walking around here
Yeah.
just all willy nilly and just anything goes today. Anything like no, we got to have a plan. Like we have
For sure.
to, you know, we have to. If you have a plan or something to go by, then you have something to refer to that.
Hmm.
When your mind do drift off or get off course, hey, let me look at this. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this right now, whatever that is in your life. But because we walk around just all willy nilly and just everything goes, it's another day. Like, no, we have to live life on purpose, with
Yep.
purpose. Like, we have to, in order for us to really be effective in our life to prepare for the future.
Right. So and that whole plan thing, like when people say the word budget, first thing you think of is, man, you finna restrict what I can do.
Restrictions. Man, I
You
can't go
finna
buy this when I want to.
you finna stop me from doing this. You finna stop me. But actually, a budget is just a plan to tell
It's a
your
plan.
money. It's to tell your
Where
money
it's
where
going.
you want it to go instead of your money
Yes.
controlling you and dragging you around. And next
My
thing you
God.
know, you ain't got nothing. But we look at the negative side of everything so much that we don't see that a budget is actually a good thing because it's helping us control an area in our life that we probably need some control over. Like
Mm.
we we allow things to kind of consume us and then actually taking control of those things and having
Right.
having the proper plan to say, all right, we gonna do this, this, and this, and and nobody's saying that your plan needs to be flawless. Like a
Right.
plan,
Right.
a plan is just that. It's a blueprint. So like if you run into a bump in the road, you get a flat tire, okay, fix that. But you still know there's this plan here that okay, I might have had to step to the side over here for a second, but I still have this plan that I need to follow. That doesn't mean because most of us like let's say for example a diet, right? We're on a diet.
Hmm.
We had that one cheat day. It's over. Oh, I messed up yesterday, so I'm just
So
gonna
I
I'm
gotta.
just I'm gonna start over next month. It's the third day of the month. You gonna waste the whole rest of the month to start over next month? Like,
That's
no,
what we do,
man.
man.
You gotta stick to the plan even when you
Gotta
fall off.
jump back
Get
on the plane.
get
My
back
God.
on it. Like, man, we are so easily distracted and so
Yeah.
easily to
And
just
easily
give up on stuff.
defeated. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But you said it earlier. You just said it a few minutes ago that we have to control our money because if we don't, it will control us.
It
And,
definitely
and
will.
we know that the love of money is the root to all evil. And so if you don't watch that thing, you'll become greedy, you'll become
Hmm.
manipulative, you'll become conniving because I gotta get this dollar, or you'll do anything to get it. But when you got a plan, you can control, hey, I have this coming in and I got a plan of where I want it to go. Like you said, it may not be flawless, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But when you got something to go by, like you said, a blueprint, then I know that okay, I messed up here, so I may have to sacrifice a little bit here next week so I can be back on course.
Yep.
Like, and with having a plan, you got to have a goal too.
Yep.
Like, and a lot of times we look at the big goal. Man, I want to have $50,000 in the bank. I want to have $100,000 in the bank. That's good. That's the big goal. But you got to have small goals to get
Baby
to
steps.
the big goal.
You need baby steps to
You
get to
said
there.
the word right there, steps. A lot of times we don't want to take the steps.
Don't take
We
it.
want
Do
the
we don't want
elevator. We want
Yep.
the escalator. We want to do whatever it takes. Look at I don't know if you've seen this stuff that's happening right now with these boards where people are putting in money and
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah,
getting
yeah.
more money.
Something about the water and
Everybody
power
is
and
everybody man. Everybody is in on this because we want we want to
we
take what we got and flip it and get something instantly for something that we really haven't worked for.
yeah.
We don't really want to take those steps. We want to get on this elevator, press the button, and let it
We
go
want
up for us.
we want to hit the lotto.
Yes.
We
We
don't
don't
want
want
to
to
work
work
for
for
it.
it,
Who
man.
want to work
You
for
know
that?
how hard that is. Who want to
You
work
know how
for it?
long that's gonna take? No, man, we want to hit
But
the
the thing
lotto.
is, the thing is the
You know how
difference
many
between
people who hit
taking
the lottery go broke
and they
within the
broke
first year?
year or
Because
5 years
because
because
you have nothing invested in that to appreciate it. Like
yeah,
you gonna take all of that. We talked about this. Why? I think one of us said like, why does I said why does life have to be so hard? You said, bro, we be taking stuff for granted and life is hard. Just imagine if it was easy. If life was easy, we be out here, bro. Everything we don't appreciate nothing. We don't care about nothing. We just out here living like it. And it's so sad, but that's so true. Like life can be hard, and we still
it
don't
is
appreciate,
hard,
and we
and we
still
still
don't
be taking things
appreciate.
for granted.
So if it was easy, man, it'd be a sad world, man. It'll be sad out
But let,
here.
let, let me tell you the difference between, and you just kind of said it, between taking the elevator and taking those steps. When you take the steps, you build up endurance. You
Yeah,
invest in it. And so you're stronger. You're able to endure more. But if I just get on the elevator, when something happens, I don't even know how to deal with it.
you're
When
gonna
that
be out of
thing
breath
gets stuck,
when you gotta walk.
I
You're
don't
gonna
know
be
what
out
to
of breath.
do. Right, right. When you actually have to do it, you're gonna be out of breath. And so, we gotta learn to in life. And I talked about the board things. I'm not talking about anybody who has invested in those things and has done it. I just use that as an example of how we kind of want things instant and
Instant.
how
Yep.
we don't want to take the steps. But the thing is, when you take the steps, you don't have to you don't have to jump from one step. I don't know. Have you ever, when you was a kid, tried to walk up maybe two steps at a
Oh
time, or
yeah.
to jump? You don't have to do that. Like, you can literally take one step, look around, make sure that you good, you secure, take the next step. Like, but when we want it so quick and easy, we want it so fast, we really don't gain the endurance that we need.
We
And
don't.
as men, we need to build up our endurance. We need to build.
Hmm.
The Bible talks about that, about our endurance leads to more patience, leads to more faith. Like, we need to make sure that we're building our endurance. But when we want everything real instant and we don't have a plan and we don't have a goal in mind, like, it takes those small goals to get to that big goal. And so a lot of times we simply don't want to take the steps,
We don't.
especially when something easier is available.
Yep.
We don't want to cook the food on the stove because the microwave is
Microwave right
easier.
there. What? Who cooking?
Well, in today's time, the air fryer, because the air fryer is amazing.
Hey, no.
But it's quicker, it's easier. You don't have to do as much work to it. Like, and I think through those different type of things, we have been conditioned to instant gratification. That is it. We have been conditioned to want things just like that, just like that.
Because
And when things don't
it
happen
looked
just
like
like that, we upset.
yeah. Because it looked like everybody got what they got just like that. Because they taking pictures and
Right.
posting it. But you don't know.
And they go viral.
You don't know what these people been through to get what they got. So
Exactly.
listen, man, you gotta have a proper perspective, man. Everybody ain't getting it like that. Like social media showing it. And even if they
That's right.
are, that's not your story. So you might have to
Right.
work for it. Even if they
Right.
are getting it like that, you might have to work for it. That
And you have to be okay with that.
right.
Like that, but you said it earlier. We so focused on everybody else, how they moving and grooving, and it causes us to lack because we're not focused on ourselves. If I keep looking at you, Carl, and what you got going on, I'm never gonna take the right steps to get my house in order.
Right. Yep.
But it's gonna take me to get away from what you got going on and hey, plan and set some goals and put the action behind it because faith without works is dead. A lot of us got
Dead.
a lot of faith.
Dead.
Man, I just believe it's about. I believe I'm about to hit. I believe things about to work out. But we ain't
You
putting no
ain't putting
work
no
behind
work
it.
in. No work.
We ain't putting no work in. Like it's important that we do what it takes to get what we want to put us in the
Mhm.
position to be where we want to be later on in life. Like if we don't do these things, if we don't work on our mental health, if we don't work on our physical health, if we don't work on financially, if we don't work on those getting those together, if we don't work on um working with our children, like
Right.
building those relationships and building that communication. Like a lot of times people get men get or parents period get mad because their children get older or become teenagers and they're already more impressed on by their peers at that time. But it's like a lot of parents get mad because their kids are not coming to them with their problems or the things that's going on in their life. But if you have never created the atmosphere for that,
Right.
you
Right.
can't expect for it to just happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I think we do that in life, not even just with children. We don't create the atmosphere for things to flow how we want to, and then when they don't, we're mad.
We mad. We mad about it, but
We
we ain't lay
mad.
out. We ain't lay out no flooring for it to work out the way we wanted it to. We just want it to happen. Scooter, man, come on.
I hope y'all getting something out of this, men and women, because we got to do better, and it's not easy.
It's not.
That this it since everything is on social media is a false reality. Today we making a difference. We making a
Right.
change to let you know that this is not a false reality. This is real.
It
Like
is.
life is hard. The things that we go through is hard. But it's guess what? It's even harder without a plan.
It,
It's even harder without a goal. It's like being in the middle of the sea with like
no map. No map. You just
no map,
surrounded by
nothing lead
water.
me, nothing guide me. I'm just surrounded. I'm just doing whatever. You're like, no, we have to have a plan. We
Right.
have to move. And God gave me this earlier, and it's just a quote. And I hope that you all get something out of it, especially us men and definitely us black men. And it just says, whatever you compress and you're not willing to confess will end up making you depressed.
Oh wow. Oh,
I was like, when he said that to me, I said, "Whoa, wait a minute." I had to text it to myself because I was like, I do not want to forget this. Whatever you compress, we compress it. We just keep packing it in. You know how you got stuff in the trash can and it's filled to the top, and you push it down so you can get more trash in there? That's what we do. Whatever we
but
compress
and
and we
don't
don't
confess.
confess,
We'll deep.
it's gonna lead to us being depressed.
Bro, I've seen this in
Woo!
action. The whole trash. Uh, I've seen my kids stuff the trash a million times, and I'm like, all right, y'all keep pushing that trash in there. Keep because when it's time to take it out, y'all gonna be crying
It's
because you
gonna
ain't gonna
be
be able to get it.
ooh wee. It's gonna be
Ah,
heavy.
every time
That
they go to
that's
take the
good, sir.
trash out, every time they take the trash out, they be crying, and I just be looking at them like,
Oh Jesus.
man, I saw you do it. I saw you pushing this
That is
trash in.
so man. That's crazy. That's good. Think about it. When you keep putting in that trash bag and you compress it and you keep adding to it, not only is it gonna be heavy, but the bag may break.
Hmm.
Now your trash is everywhere
Everywhere. So
because you were not
all
willing
that stuff
to.
you trying to hold, hide, uh, keep in secret, it's out for the world to see now, and you can't do nothing about it because your
My
bag
God.
just bust all over the place. Like,
And that's what happens with secrets. That's what happens when we hold in stuff. That's what happens when we compress. Our bag ends up breaking and the whole world see it then.
hmm
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So, and then, of course, everybody got to an opinion when they see your trash.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna post it. Everybody's gonna repost. Everybody's gonna laugh at it. Everybody's gonna make memes about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
because we did not take out the trash
Yeah.
in the right time. We didn't we let something sit in there too long. We let some meat sit. Have you ever let like some meat sit in the trash can too long and maggots start to come? That's what we do. We let it sit
Yep.
there too long.
It's stanky.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done, y'all, because I can go on for hours with this. Whatever
Oh
we
man.
we compress and not willing to confess will end up making you depressed.
Depressing. Yeah. That's good, man.
Man, I have another quote and I'm done. We gotta make a change and we gotta make it now. And the quote just simply says, "One day or day one, you decide."
Right.
Like either you gonna decide to make this day one for your change, or you gonna keep putting it off to one day.
Yep.
Either you gonna make today the day for you to start dealing with your mental health, or it's gonna keep getting put off to one day I'll get to it, and it's still affecting you and you're not realizing. Until we, if as long as we say one day I'll deal with my physical health instead of saying day one, we gonna continue to have the same problems.
Yep. We gonna keep living in the
We
same mess.
and we gotta change, y'all. And we gotta hold each other accountable. We gotta have a plan. We gotta have some goals, and we gotta put an exhaust on our car. Oh God! Oh
Take
God!
that trash out.
We
Take
got
that trash out.
we got to do the maintenance on our car. We got that's hard.
Hey,
We have to start going to the
I'm gonna say,
doctor.
I hope the people got something because I know for sure I did. Even in our prep for this,
Yeah,
it was a definite sucker punch to the gut. Like, but
yeah,
this is what we need as men because
yeah.
we bottle this stuff up and we carry these heavy loads and we just suffer in silence to the point where
We do.
we almost take our own selves out without even well we know it's not it, I'm not even gonna say it like we're unaware of what's going on. We know, but it having these conversations and having each other's back. Oh man, you said you was gonna do this. When you gonna do it? Like I have a
Mm,
constant I have a constant accountability partner. Like you said, your wife, my wife is the constant con- accountability partner. But I want that to
hmm
go. I want that to be a goal as men.
Well,
Like let's
yes,
hold each
sir.
other accountable as men because like only us really know what we go through. Like
Right.
not saying that women don't go through anything, but we keep it in. They have their community. They
Yeah,
have
they get
like
with their girlfriends, and they.
you see the girls get together all the time. Like I hey I'm happy in the house. like I stay in the house all day every day, but that's not good for anybody, man. We need a true
Hmm
brotherhood. That's right. That's what we need. So
Come
I
on,
hope somebody got something because I definitely did, and
man. This was awesome tonight. I really
it
enjoyed
was.
it.
I'm not even gonna tell no stories, man. I didn't want to talk about this, but I knew it was needed, and I knew that it would help people. So yeah,
Yeah. Well, we definitely want to thank everybody who shared or commented, everybody who was engaging in conversation with us tonight. We definitely appreciate you. We thank you so much for joining in the conversation because it's not just between me and Carl, it's between all of us. And we, like you
yeah.
said, we're trying to build that community. We're trying to
Spread the
shatter the
word.
silence.
Hmm.
We're trying to spread the word. We want y'all to spread the word. And
If y'all know some
we
guys
hope
who
that y'all
need it,
tune in next time.
hmm if y'all
Yeah,
know some
let them
guys out
know.
there, yeah, let them know. Hey, we trying to make bigger than just us. That we trying
Right.
to reach as many guys as we can reach, and I know it's women on here. Am I back,
You're back. I didn't know what was
Scooter?
going on. I thought it was over, but okay. Go ahead. You can finish what you were saying. You back.
All
We can
right.
hear you.
I don't know where I was at, but yeah, we gonna hit on the real issues. We gonna talk about uh everything that needs to be talked about. I appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate my brother Scooter. So
Yeah, I appreciate you too, Coral. Like
uh,
I even appreciate just the conversations we have on our own. Like you don't know how that really helps me. So,
it helps me
you
too,
know,
man.
yeah, I think that and hopefully one day we can create a community or a platform where it's just the men, so we really can talk about stuff that we don't necessarily want to disclose with the women.
Hmm.
So but it's gonna take all of us coming together to for that to happen, or
Yep.
so again, if you all have any ideas or concerns or questions, email us at email us at man with three n's me too at gmail.com. Also go to our YouTube page at man with three n's at me too, and like, comment, share with somebody. A lot of times these videos are hard to share, but if you send somebody the link, they can click right on it and look at it. Um, a lot of times people are not necessarily on Facebook, and you may want them to hear this. You can send them the YouTube link to their phone, and they can pull it right up and kind of look at it themselves, and they can comment in there as well. And we're gonna go back and read them and adjust if we need to adjust some things, and if we need to like I said, want to build something where a platform where us men can come together and really express ourselves. um but we want to make sure that we make everybody comfortable in that. And I
Yep.
know a lot of times men won't really say too much, especially if women are on the line or on the chat. But again, women, we do appreciate you all being on here,
We
because
do. We
a
do.
lot of times you all are advocating for us, and you are sharing it with your brothers or your lover or your best friend or whatever it is. We appreciate you. We thank you so much. Carl, go ahead and give them where they can reach you at.
They can reach me at. Listen, man. I'm not a big social media guy, but I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Only because I promote my little business, not little business, my business. You know,
That's right. You got a nice business.
I promote my
He over
business
he
more
over there
more than
planning. He
anything.
he planning for his future, y'all. I'm
I
trying to be on your level.
I can't deny that I am planning for my future. So
That's right, of what you want it to be.
yeah. So I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but I can't say I'm that active. So yeah. You might
Okay.
get a picture with my kids every now and then, but yeah.
Okay. And so you can reach me. My name is Scooter Lamont on everything, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, I believe even Twitter, Facebook. Facebook, I am at my limit, so I either gonna have to create another page,
That's right. He's
or
famous.
I'm not famous, or delete some people off. I don't know, but you can reach me. You can inbox me if you have questions. Um, at Scooter Lamont on all platforms. We thank you all again. Until
Appreciate
next
y'all.
time,
Till next
continue the
time,
conversation.
man. Me
Me
too.
too.
We out.
We out.